tomorrow or today. You understand? But does that mean that now today, since you've gotten away with it, that you continue to do it? Keep reading.
God forbid.
God forbid. You understand? You did what you did, and you repent for what you've done, and you change your life and never do it again.
That's right.
Because the next time, go to Romans chapter what is it? I think it's Romans chapter 8. Go to Romans 8. Um Hold on, let me find it. Hold on one second. Go to Hebrews chapter 10, Salak, in verse 26. Hebrews chapter 10, verse 26. Because of course you believe that because you have grace, that you can go out and do whatever you want to do, and that you may get saved, or you may have a chance. So you don't have to be an ISUBK, and you may get saved. Go ahead. Come on with it.
This is the book of Hebrews, chapter 10, verse 26, and it reads, For if we sin willfully.
So if you sin willfully, what does it mean to willfully sin?
Sin with knowing. So like it, sir, basically sinning, and you know it's a sin.
You know that you're sinning. You know that what you're doing is wrong. If that woman who was caught in adultery, after being almost stoned to death, after that she knows that committing adultery is a sin, and she should know that she should never do it again. But if that woman goes and commits adultery again, keep going.
After that, we have received the knowledge of the truth.
So she received the knowledge of the truth. Keep going.
There remaineth no more sacrifice for sins.
Christ gone. Them Sadducees and Pharisees gonna have their way with you. You understand? You're gonna get stoned to death, and Christ ain't gonna be there to save you this time. You understand? Which is why you have to understand that once you learn these law, statutes, commandments, you walking on thin ice. Like the scriptures say, your cup runneth over, and when your cup filleth over and it pours out, that's it. You done. You understand? You in a deathbed somewhere crying to your family because you dying from AIDS and HIV. When you on the low was a raging homosexual. And you heard them crazy Israelites on the corner telling you that you're going to die from HIV if you're gay. But of course you didn't listen to them. You threw the finger up and tried to spit at the camp, and of course you kept walking. But now you're following Easy-E. Good night. Drop that. Where else we at? Any other questions? Sis, I hope that answered your question online. Somebody else had a question in here, right? Sit up. And you had a question too, right? All right.
Salakia, sir, we're going along with what you said. I can't remember the exact scripture, but the scripture where it says, although he falls 7 times.
Oh, you're talking about Paul.
Sir.
Yeah. There's a Paul when Paul was asking, hey, Tabawan, can you see me one more time? But when Paul was asking Christ, how many times shall I let my brother shall I allow him to have a against me? Shall it be 7 times? But Christ answered him and said, not 7 times, but 7 times, 70 times, meaning forever. You allow this because, of course, brotherhood endureth forever, right? Which is what Christ taught the wilder brother. Question, young man, what would you have? What was your question?
I had 2. My first one was, I'm gonna get to the other one I had before, but my first one currently is the one where it talks about with his stripes I'm healed. Isn't it like a certain amount of numbers? Isn't it like 1,000 stripes or something like that? I think I heard like with his stripes I'm healed. With the Bible, like what? Explain to me that concept. What does that mean specifically?
What is this your first question, or are you wanting to change the first question you asked me? You asked me
That's
something
my
about counsel.
first question, because I know people say, if you're with the stripes, I'm healed. So that's the first one.
I thought you had asked me something about counsel.
Oh, counsel.
Uh-huh.
Sorry about that.
No, you too.
How is counsel? What's the difference between counsel and the ISUPK versus counsel like in the world, like therapy, marriage counseling? Like, what is the difference between the two? Like, how does it differ?
The difference between the counsel and the ISUPK and the counsel that comes from the world is that the counsel that comes from the ISUPK comes from the Lord.
That's right.
There's a counsel directly from the Most High to you. It's the closest thing that the Lord could tell you what to do in your situation that you can get. And the counsel in the ISUPK believes that brotherhood suffereth long. The counsel in the ISUPK believes that you cannot be a whore on your husband because he plays a video game too much. It also believes that you cannot beat your wife because she runs her damn mouth. The counsel in the ISUPK also believes that you have to stay with each other forever, which is why our counsel is so perfect, because it is so biased against you ever leaving each other. It's so biased against brothers leaving each other or hating one another that the only option is for it to last. The counsel is like this, right? Let's say any relationship that you have, and both relationships are two vehicles. They're two cars. And this could be a relationship between a man and his woman, or between a brother and a brother, right? Now, in both of the vehicles are messed up. They're tore up. The tires need to be changed. They balding out. The alternator need to be fixed. The transmission fluid is leaking out. You got a hole. You got a rip in the conveyor belt. The engine is smoking. You ain't got no oil. Oil done got rotted so bad it's creating lumps and rocks inside the oil. The AC don't work. It's in the middle of the summertime. It's 99 degrees out. Both of these cars are terrible. Officer Sadat can't fix it. He done tried to fix it. It ain't working. He like, I can fix any goddamn thing. Look. But the point is that both of these relationships are trashed. They're tarnished. The relationships in the world and the counsel that you'll get in the world will give that car a button. And then if you press that button, you can get out of the car. You can go get a new car. You could get out the car and trade the car in. You can get out the car and just not have a car. You can walk, go get a bike or a motorcycle. You can fly, get a goddamn helicopter for all I care. But the car and the truth, which is synonymous with the counsel that the ISUPK gives, it does not come with that button. And because that car does not have that button for you to leave, what must you do with that car?
It's like, yes, sir. You have to stay with it.
You have to stay with it, but what else do you have to do? That's absolutely correct. You got to
So
stay
like,
with the
yes,
car. You
sir.
can't get out.
Suffer alone.
You suffer it, but what else?
Endure it.
Think about it. Think about the actual car that you have. Sadat, if you can't get a new car at all, it's done. You can't get another car for the rest of your life. You have to do what?
You have to fix the
You
car.
got to fix the car, because you have to make that car get you from point A to point B, however you can do it. However many mechanics it takes, however many times you got to call General Hyman, however many times you got to call Captain Idoc, however many times you got to separate yourself, however many times you got to walk out the house, however many times you got to call Thabawan and say, can I come sleep on your couch tonight? Can I come sleep on your couch again tonight? Can I just stay with you for a week until things cool out the house? However, whatever you have to do, you have no choice but to make that car go from point A to point B. And that's how the ISUPK is still here, because we don't have no choice. There is no button for us to go and create our own Israelite group. We don't have that choice. What we do have the choice to do is we sit right in here with the brothers that we hate. You understand? Of course, we don't hate each other because, of course, we don't. Because the brothers in here, of course, the brothers and the sisters in here, of course, the best people on the face of the planet Earth as it stands today. But even if we had thoughts with each other, we would sit right here and we would get work done. Why? Because we have a debt to pay. Right. You understand? Next question. Come on. Also, give me Proverbs chapter 1 and verse 5 real quick. I try to give a scripture for every question that's asked so you can revert back to it.
You said Proverbs chapter 1
Kind of 1 and 5. Let me get there too. I may be wrong. I think it's Proverbs 1 and verse 5 or something like that.
Salaki, sir.
Mm-hmm.
I got it.
Beard you got?
I got you. Come on. This is the book of Proverbs, chapter 1, verse 5, and it reads,
Mm-hmm.
a wise man will hear
Mm-hmm.
and will increase learning,
Mm-hmm.
and a man of understanding shall attain unto wise counsel.
Shall attain unto wise counsel. Now, wise is, of course, short for what? Wisdom. And what is your wisdom? How do we gain wisdom in this earth?
Like through going through like trials and tribulations.
That's true, right? But the wisdom that saves lives is not simply by going through trials and tribulations. Our wisdom is our what? I may need a precept. I may need a precept. What is our wisdom? Brother?
Our Bible. It's a precept Baruch 4:1.
Is it what?
Baruch 4:1.
Let me see what you got. I mean, maybe. Let me see. Give me. It's not that, but I want to see what you got. What is it? I give y'all a hint so we can move on. It's in the book of Deuteronomy. All right. What is your wisdom? Any other questions online? Go ahead and type them in the chat. Any questions in the room? Just raise your hand.
This is Baruch 4:1.
Mm-hmm.
This is the book of the commandments of God, and that the law that endureth forever.
Mm-hmm.
All that keep it shall come to life, but such as leave it shall die.
I wouldn't use that one because it doesn't say wisdom, right? Go ahead, young man in the back.
The laws are what's already told to you.
Say that one more time.
The laws are what's already told to you.
He owned it, man. But I want the precept now. I ain't gonna let you slide with that. You getting ready for Hebrew Academy, right? Ain't you about to be in Hebrew Academy this year? Or what you got? What you? Come on, man. Don't look back. What you gonna do? He said, I'm scared. I'm scared of that, man. I ain't trying to meet Cap McCod face to face. I ain't trying to see them lions and bears up in there. I feel you, brother. I would be scared too. You understand? But I can't let that slide. I need that precept. Sit up.
Salakia, sir, would it be Deuteronomy 4 and 6?
That's exactly what it is. Read.
This is the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 4 and verse 6.
Keep,
therefore, and do them.
Hold on. It might need to go to verse no sweat. This is talking about the law, statutes, and commandments, right? Keep, therefore, and do them. Keep going.
For this is your wisdom.
For this is your wisdom. Your wisdom comes from the law, statutes, and commandments. It's how you know what is right from wrong. It's how you know what you should do versus what you should not do. Keep going.
And your understanding.
And it's also your understanding. The way you give counsel is based off of what? The law, statutes, commandments. It comes from the Most High. That's how you counsel someone. You understand? If Abawan calls me and says, Yarmak, man, look, man, this brother was staring at me, man. And you know, I got my son in the car and so on and so forth. I'm thinking I should deck him in his face right now, man. What should I do? Of course, I'm not authorized to give counsel, but if I was, I would have to say what? Like, why? Because decking him in the eye would be a sin because he's looking at you. And then he would be wrong. And now he would be sinning against the Lord because of my counsel, which is the difference between the counsel from the Lord and the counsel from the world. The counsel from the world will tell your woman to absolutely go sleep with that other man. They would absolutely say do it. They would say definitely go to the bachelorette party and go be in the party butt naked while some man comes in there and says, is there a fire in here, even though it's a hotel room, and he starts to take off all his clothes. And they would say to release yourself and to have some freedom and some free time for yourself so that you can grow. The counsel in the world will absolutely tell you to do that. The counsel in the truth could never, because the counsel comes from the Lord, and our counsel is wise while theirs is foolish. Right. You understand? If you even look at even if you look at some of the movies, they even make jokes about it, where some of the people will be in them little counseling rooms paying some idiot Edomite woman $300 an hour to sit there and talk, and the woman says absolutely nothing, doesn't say anything except, and even on some movies, they doing what back there with the notepad? They're drawing pictures. They're drawing pictures while you're in a life-threatening event. Your life is in turmoil, and they're drawing pictures, and they say, and then you say, you know what? I figured out what I got, and then they run out the building, pay them $2,000 for nothing because it's childish. It's nonsense. It's just a way for America to make money off of you because we don't have righteous counsel, so we're subject to use theirs when their counsel does not help us. You understand? But that's the difference. Anything else?
You want me to finish this out, sir?
Yeah, you can finish it up if it's more.
Kind on kind.
Mm-hmm.
For this is your wisdom
Mm-hmm.
and your understanding
Mm-hmm.
in the sight of the nations,
Mm-hmm.
which shall hear all these statutes
Uh-huh.
and say, surely this great nation
Uh-huh.
is a wise and understanding people.
This great nation is a wise and understanding people. The people around you will know that you're wise because of the counsel that you get. Your grandparents, your mothers, the people who hate the truth, they can hate the truth all they want. But when they hear about the counsel that General Muhammad gave, ooh-wee, good night. They couldn't even fathom some of the things that he says, some of the things that he's done. You understand? Some of the things that all the generals and all the captains in the school has done. You understand? Because they follow a wise counsel. Done. Next. Or is that it, Sadat?
That's the end of that verse.
All right, come on. Oh, sis, come on. Come on with it. We got some time. The class endureth forever. It suffereth long.
So I was going to ask, is there like such thing as fasting more than one day? Is that possible?
Give me the fasting scriptures, officers. I'm about to start pulling to Zariox on y'all. Y'all in here looking strong. Y'all gonna help me. Now, this would be clear. This to clarify. Are you asking, can you fast for more than one day? Like, is that something that you can do if you yourself wanted to do that?
Right.
Okay, no sweat. Officers, give me the fasting scriptures. If you don't get it, I'll get it for you.
Go ahead, sir.
What you got?
Got the book of Matthew, chapter 6, verse 16. Moreover, when ye fast, be not as the hypocrites.
When you fast, be not as the hypocrites, right? Hypocrites. These are your Christians, man. Your Christian church, they are the hypocrites. Keep going.
Of a sad countenance. For they disfigure their faces.
That meaning what? What does that mean? They have a sad countenance and they disfigure their faces. Let's see if one of the young men could get it. Come on. That, right? But what specifically as far as their countenance? The countenance of them is sad. It's low, right? They walk around as if they're fasting.
Right.
Like you see them and you could tell, damn nigga, you need something to eat? You look like you looking bad. Right. You understand? They fasting. So what they do in the morning? They don't brush their teeth. They don't wipe their face off. They don't put some lotion on their face. They don't put lotion on nothing. They just looking ashy and dirty and looking like they 2 hours away from dropping dead. You understand? They have a low countenance. Keep going.
For they disfigure their faces, that they may appear unto men to fast.
That they may appear unto men unto fast. Why? Why do they disfigure their faces so that men can see that they're fasting? Why do they do this? Marisha?
It's like, sir, if I could to get some kind of what's the word I'm looking for? Not mercy, but it's like a feeling of oh, woe is me, like, you know, look at me in my pain, kind of thing. Man, there's a word for that. I can't think of it right.
Young man.
No, it's like, okay.
Yeah, that's a good answer, right? Because they want everyone to think that they're what? They could think about the class. Because of what people will see, they want everyone to think that they are what?
Righteous.
They want everyone to think that they're a child of God because of what happens outwardly, which is why they'll show you, hey, I'm fasting. Hey, Tabawa, hey, yeah, I just wanted to call you and let you know, man, I ain't played the video game in 20 days. Oh, really, man? What's wrong? Your video game broken? What's going on? You ain't got no Wi-Fi? No, man, I'm glad you asked, man. I've been fasting for the Lord, man, just doing a fast for the Lord. Okay, good for you and him. You understand? What the hell does that got to do with me? Nothing. Go ahead. I wouldn't say that they want to be edified because edification means that they're actually learning something. What they want to do is teach you something. They want to teach you that they're a child of God and you're not, because they're fasting for 3 days and you haven't done it, which is why they tell you. This is the only reason anyone ever tells you they're fasting, is because they want you to know that they're a child of God and you're less than them. Because I fast. That's like that pastor who died, right? Because he tried to fast for 40 days like Christ did, and he killed himself like an idiot. He want everyone to see that I'm like Christ and you're not. So he tries to fast for 40 days and dies because, of course, Yahushua ain't letting that go down because he's not Christ. And you can't do what Christ did. You understand? Keep going.
Oh, God. Verily I say unto you, they have their reward.
They have their reward. You understand? And it's not a good one. Keep going.
Verse 17. But thou, when thou fastest, anoint thine head and wash thy face.
When you fastest, you anoint thy head and wash your face. Clean up your face. Put the lotion on. Look beautiful. You understand,
right,
brothers? Clean up your face. Put the lotion on your face, whatever the hell you do in the morning, and you go wherever you go, and you don't tell a soul about nothing that you're doing. No one should even know. You understand? Keep going.
Verse 18. That thou appear not unto men to fast, but unto thy Father which is in secret. And thy Father which seeth in secret shall reward thee openly.
And he shall reward thee openly. Now go to Esther chapter 4 verse 16. Now the sister's specific question was, can you fast for 3 days? You can fast anything you like, to answer your question plainly. You understand? If you want to fast from not playing a video game as a brother for a month, that's between you and the Lord. If you want to fast from not eating meat for a year, that's between you and the Lord. Except on the Passover, you have to eat lamb because that is the law, right? Go ahead, read what you got.
Chapter 4, verse 16.
And
it reads, "Go gather together
all
the Jews that are present eat ye meat,
and fast.
and neither eat nor drink 3 days."
And so they didn't eat or drink for 3 days. That's just your question, right? All right. Keep going. Oh, does he have a microphone? Salakia. Just read it again from the top.
This is the book of Esther, chapter 4, verse 16. Go gather together all the Jews that are present in Shushan, and fast ye for me, and neither eat nor drink 3 days, night or day. I also and my maidens will fast likewise. And so will I go in unto the king, which is not according to the law. And then if I perish, I perish.
Meaning what Esther was trying to do was trying to save the Israelites from being slaughtered, right? Which is why we have, if I'm not mistaken, the Feast of Purim, which is in this sister's honor, right? Because of what she did, because the king's men wanted to murder and wipe out the Jews that were living during that time. And because of her faith in the Lord and her fasting and her telling her brothers to fast for 3 days, which you can do if that's what you choose to do, right? she was able to save the children of Israel so that we could be here today. But to answer the sixth question, if you want to fast for 3 days, you can. Now, don't be. If you're pregnant, can you fast for 3 days? No. If you're pregnant, can you not take your prenatal pills? No. If it's during somebody help me out. Day of Atonement. If you're pregnant, can you not eat? You have to eat, right? Because you're pregnant. If you're terminally ill and you have to take medication, take the medication. If you're a baby, don't go and try to fast for 40 days and 40 nights and get yourself killed. The Lord is not what Christians try to make him out to be. You understand? If you fast for a day, that's between you and the Lord. Right? You're going to get rewarded for that sacrifice for the Most High, so on and so forth. But your fast is up to you, and you do whatever you want to do into the length that you want to do it. But don't kill yourself, because then you'd be sinning. You killed yourself from starvation. Go ahead.
And on topic of what you're saying, don't sit there and do it outwardly so people can just see you and be like, "Oh, she's trying to, right."
Yeah, don't do what you could take. The only law that the Lord gave us as far as fasting is the Day of Atonement, which is sun up to sun up, or is it sundown? Salakia. Sundown to sundown, Salakia, and that's it. We can handle that, and that's very small compared to what Christ had to do in the wilderness for 40 days. And that's all the Lord requires of us. But again, you could do that, sister, if that's what you want to do. And you can also fast by doing other things, like you could fast by not drinking alcohol, right, for a month or however long you want to, even for a day. If you got a drinking problem and you can't drink, and you say to the Lord, I'm not going to drink today for the Lord, that's between you and him. You understand? Next question. Oh, sis, you had another question, right? Come on with it.
I was going to ask about dealing with family members.
Mm-hmm.
Like if they know certain things, like about the word and stuff,
mm-hmm.
and they refuse to, like, do what I'm doing, like coming to school. I mean, what can I do?
Give her a hand. Good night. I was questioning. I was wanting to see. I seen the sister a couple times. I wanted to know, is she just coming to get information, or she about to rock and roll with us? You understand? Most high Christ, I'm messing with you. Come on, though. But you saying your family member, they see what you doing, but they don't want to come to class. They don't want to come check out the Isupk, so far and so forth. I understand exactly what you're saying. Give me John chapter 10 and verse 7. Oh, was there more to your question? Sly, I didn't mean to cut you off. Was there more to your question? No. Okay. So this is let me ask you a question. Do they consider themselves to be Israelites?
Oh yeah.
They do? Do they follow another camp or something like that?
No.
They don't? No. So they're individualites. I mean, Salaki. But they're Israelites, but they stand alone. No sweat.
Hey, Salaki, sir.
All right, hold on one second. Now, as far as dealing with them, you can, of course, because of course, when you find the truth, of course, you want to bring the truth to everybody. You want to tell your mother about the truth. You want to tell your friends and your family and your father about the truth. And you coming to them like, oh my God, like I done found gold. I'm trying to bring you to the gold. It's here. I found it. Right. And of course, when they deny it, it kind of shuns you. It kind of, it like deflates you a little bit, because you like, well, how the hell did I just find gold? And I'm telling you, it's gold around the corner up the street, but yet you're not trying to come see the gold with me. But you got to understand there's one or two things. One, the Lord don't want everybody. That's a fact. The Lord has never, ever wanted everybody. Never. The Lord is all about those who choose to want him. That's what the Lord wants, which is why everybody ain't in here. It's why everybody didn't follow Abraham. They didn't. Everybody didn't follow Noah during the flood. Everybody didn't follow a lot out of Sodom and Gomorrah or Moses out of Egypt. We all didn't follow him. Some of us wanted to stay with the Egyptians, but the Lord don't want them. What the Lord does want is you. And what you can do is you can show them that they're wrong by your life, by your example, and then they'll see it. You don't have to tell them nothing. They'll see by your counsel that you are with the men of the Lord, or you in the house of the Most High in the body of Christ, and they can be on their own. But no sweat, because this is kind of part of my topic. Give me John chapter 10 and verse 7.
Salaki, sir.
Mm-hmm.
Got it.
Go ahead, what you got?
This is the book of John, chapter 10, verse 7.
Also, this Salaki, but also to answer the question specifically, there ain't nothing you got to do for them or with them. You understand? As far as interact with them, you interact with them just like your family members. You go to them. They may say shalom, or they may trade it. They may try to say shalom or shalom, and you stand strong on what you know. You say shalom, and you say, well, why are you saying shalom? Yada 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 yada. It's shalom. Then you can say, well, if it's shalom, cousin, then you can come to Friday class and you can say that to Officer Tabawan. And then when he says, no, I'm not stepping up in that school, I know, because you're a coward. Because you're a coward. Because you know Officer Tabawan is a killer in the Lashwan Kodash, and he is going to embarrass you on live. He's going to embarrass you if you come to the class and try to question the UPK, which is why you'll never do it. And you know what that sounds like? It sounds like your Christian pastor. But no sweat. And then you can go on and make your waffles or whatever after having that great little conversation that lasted for all of a minute. And then they'll eventually leave you alone. Go ahead. What you got?
No, but that's what I had a question about, because I'd be wondering like how we get all divided and why we're not all together.
That's a great question, because that's like, in my topic. Come on.
No, because that's the thought process. Because my sister is the one who, introduced me to being an Israelite.
Mm-hmm.
And I ventured on because I was like, okay, it's got to be other of us out here in the world.
Right.
And I'm like, I can't just sit here in the room and read scriptures. I'm not getting no understanding.
Right.
I told my sister, even though she bought me in this walk.
Right.
But I told her, look, we got to be getting our sisters and brothers, and we got to get together. We can't just do it ourselves, because some things we don't know.
Right.
Where did we go from here?
Right. Most High Christ.
Like,
hey, this sister right here is about hardcore, man. Hardcore than a mug right here, man. She said we gotta go get our brothers, man. And that's absolutely right. And that's a perfect spirit to have. And you share the same stuff. I was just talking to Maya Shaw earlier today. He told me that his best friend is the reason why he found the UPK. And he told me that. And I said, well, where's your best friend at? He live out here? He said, where he live at? He living right there. I'm like, nigga, what? Your best friend told you about the UPK. Why is he not in class? And what did you say? His family what? His family won't let him come to the UPK. You understand? So a lot of brothers go through the same thing where people know the truth, but they don't want to suffer the truth. Man, I could go into this all night. Salaki. Good. Uh-huh. Oh. Right. Good night. Which is what the does your family member do? The ones you talking about, do they smoke weed?
Oh no.
What do they eat pork?
No, we don't eat pork.
Do they eat shrimp?
No.
Lobster?
No.
Do they hold the Passover?
Yes.
Where?
We do it in the house. We've been doing it in the house for years.
Yeah, you can't do it in the house. Good night. They in the house like, let me get the bitter herb. You got the oregano? Let me get the lamb. Y'all in there eating lamb chop sandwiches. It's a lot. I'm messing with you.
But I know you're gonna talk about me, but
no, I'm not talking about you. Sis. That it's you better than most. You understand?
Yeah,
Come on.
Because my sister, she was looking on YouTube and stuff, right? And that's how we found out about all of these camps. And then we was like, oh, they don't preach the same thing, or they, they all off. Like nobody's on one accord. What's going on?
Ooh,
you know what I'm saying? This camp's doing this. They celebrating the Passover this day, and I'm like, okay, it gotta be some more questions. We need questions.
Good night, Tabawan. I'm about to have to bring you up here, man. I'm about to have to bring Officer Tabawan up here so we can get that history going, man. But we're gonna get into. I'm gonna try to break this down as quickly as possible. Of course, all of these questions are too wide because this is extensive. I could go into this. I could break down the parable of the sower, right? The parable of the sower is what your family is. Who's that? That's Alexa. They found the parable of the soul on the web. Good night. but your family members, they would be more so of the type of seeds that grew in the thorns, right? In the parable of the soil, meaning they landed in the soil, right? They learned about being an Israelite. They're proud to say that they're an Israelite. They'll tell everybody in the world, man, I'm an Israelite, man. I don't eat shrimp, crab, pork, and lobster. I don't celebrate Christmas. But they don't want to suffer to live the life that an Israelite lives, which is to be in the truth, which is to have to make it to Texas to make it to the 52nd annual Passover, or to have to make it to Florida for the 53rd annual Passover, or to have to make it to Fayetteville on this coming Sunday for the memorial blowing of the trumpets. They'd rather just say, I'm an Israelite, but I ain't about to lose no sleep over it. I'm going to have the Passover in my kitchen. You understand? I ain't going to be cooking for those brothers at that park because there's too many of them. I'm not going to be on the grill or washing dishes or cooking unleavened. Give a hand for the sisters that cook that unleavened bread. Good night. I remember being at the Passover and seeing the message that said, if you was a sister, you had to report to the kitchen and help cook the unleavened bread. And I remember thinking to myself, damn, I'm glad I'm not a sister because I'm not trying to do that. I ain't trying to go to the kitchen and cook no bread. But them sisters went in there and they got it done. They didn't go cook for themselves inside of their kitchen, man. They cook for brothers across the world because that's our tradition. It's how we've always done it. You understand? But give me the scripture. Who holding? I'm gonna try to get through this. I can't break down a parable of the sower tonight. It's gonna take too long. But again, the parable of the sower, they land in the soil, but they get choked out by the truth. They love the truth. They love that brothers is getting together. I'm sure your friend, they love the fact that people is coming together or they doing what they doing, whatever. But they don't want to suffer to be in here with us. They don't want to suffer the pain that comes with being in truth, which is how fake Israelite groups started. And we're gonna get into it. Read what you got.
This is the book of John, chapter 10, verse 7. And it reads, Then said Jesus unto them again, Verily, verily.
Hold on one second. Switch mics. I want this brother right here to read. I want him to read. All right.
This is John chapter 10, at verse 7. Then said Jesus unto them again, Verily, verily, I say unto you, I am the door of the sheep.
Make sure his microphone is on, Maisha. He said that this is Christ speaking, right? And Christ is giving a parable to the disciples. And he said, Verily, verily, I say unto you, I am the door of the sheep. What does that mean that Christ is the door of the sheep? Sadak. Meaning, you don't get to the truth without going through Christ. You don't get to the knowledge or the understanding of the Bible without getting it from him, right? This is what Christ is saying. Now keep this in mind, because of course in the Isupk, what do we say? We are not affiliated with no other Hebrew Israelite group. There's only one way, one doctrine, one baptism, one body, and that's one West. No other camp says that. They go to unity camps. Why? Because they believe that you can do whatever. They believe you can have a Passover at home and still be in the truth. You can't. Christ said, I am the door. Keep going. Come on.
This is verse 8.
All
that ever came before me are thieves and robbers. But the sheep did not hear them.
But the sheep did not hear them. Keep going. Meaning the ones that the Lord wanted to be in the truth, they don't hear IUIC teaching people to go and worship the dark side of the moon. They don't listen to that nasty nonsense. The IUIC want to be on the dark side of the moon so they can do things that people don't see as well. So they can sleep with all the transgenders they want to on the dark side of the moon. They got the nerve to teach that the angels are training on the. What the hell do angels have to train for? They training, they marching, huh? They up there doing the strike, throat strike, front kick. Angels, huh? Come on. Right. There's that as well. Like, damn, go to the dark side of the sun. I thought the whole shit was lit up. Damn. If you're on one side, it's going to blind you. Go to the other, you're going to be blinded. Ain't no dark side. Same thing with the moon. You understand? But Salaki, keep going.
This is verse 9.
Uh-huh.
I am the door.
I am the door. Keep going.
By me, if any man enter in, he shall be saved.
By me, meaning there's only one way. Keep going.
And shall go in and out and find pasture.
Now go to verse 1. Now this is your fake Israelite group.
This is
and sad to say it, sis, but this is your family. I'm sorry. Well, a lot of us have the same family members, but this is just the truth. Keep going.
This is John chapter 10, verse 1. Verily, verily, I say unto you, he that entereth not by the door into the sheepfold.
He that entereth not by the door into the sheepfold, meaning he doesn't come in through that straight gate. He doesn't come in through that one body. You understand? Keep going.
But climbeth up some other way.
I ain't gonna go to the Passover at the 53rd annual Passover that they've been holding for 53 years. I'm not gonna go to the one that's been here since 1969, since before I was even breathing. I'm gonna just have one in my kitchen. I'm gonna just go to the one at Golden Corral that they having. I'm gonna enter in some other way. I want to have a Passover too. Well, how'd you hear about the Passover? For some Israelites? Oh, so they having a Passover. Yeah, they having one down there in Florida. But I'm going to just go to Golden Corral and have my own one. You enter in some different way. You climbing over the gates. Keep going.
The same is a thief and a robber.
The same as a thief and a robber. You steal the Passover. You're not holding it. You steal the feast. You're not holding it. You stealing the traditions. You're not keeping them. You understand? Because you're supposed to be keeping them with your brother. And what sense does that make? What sense does it make? Think about this thousands of years ago with the disciples and how they had to roll with Christ. And they had to be under the strict, pain, harsh tutelage and instruction that Christ gave them. There were brothers who was on boats with their families. When Christ said, come on, they hopped off ships and followed him, not knowing where they was going to go. Not knowing these brothers didn't have jobs. They left their families and their jobs and went and followed Christ. I forget the brothers, and I want to say his Mark. But a brother lost his father. And what did Christ tell him? What did Christ tell him? Christ, go ahead. He said, let the dead bury the dead. He lost his father, and Christ did not give him 7 days to mourn, which is the law, which is our tradition. Christ said, let the dead bury the dead. We got work to do. So you telling me some fake Israelite going to come and bring glory to Christ's name when they didn't have to say to let their father bury themselves? They didn't have to hear let the dead bury the dead when their father died. No, they didn't have to hear you got to make it all the way to Florida or all the way to Houston for the Passover. They didn't have to hear that. They had it in their kitchen. But they supposed to get what? When they don't have to check in every Wednesday. They don't have to go through the Hebrew Academy. They don't have to cook the unleavened bread for thousands of men. They don't have to do that. They do what they want to do. They have camp whenever they want to have camp. They call up on the phone, hey, brothers, how y'all feeling? Y'all feeling too? Y'all want to go out there and preach the gospel? Y'all want to go? Okay, we going to go. While brothers in here, we sitting there knowing what? That because we soldiers, every Saturday, we already know we going to camp until we get the text that we not. It be hailing and storming and flooding outside, and we still what? Sitting at the door like, I guess we're going to die in the flood then. I guess Cap don't give a damn about us. I guess we just going to die. But we still ready to go and do it because there's only one way into this truth, and that's through that straight door, not through some other gate. You understand? Somebody pulled the scripture. If they was with us, they would have surely stayed. You understand? This is how fake Israelites are made because it's so easy to go in some other way. It's so easy to pick up the book of Esther or to pick up the book of Jasher and say, you know what? I got something that the Isupk don't have. That's why y'all should follow me because we believe in some book that's got a million contradictions in the goddamn book. You understand? So, Doc, what you got? Come on with it. Mm-hmm. And then someone also get me the straight gate.
Kind of one kind. This is the book of 1 John chapter 2 and verse 19. They went out from us.
They went out from us. Now, sis, this is what you got to know, and I'm gonna let you get there. But this is what you got to know as far as the history of the Israelites, right? It's just as important as knowing that Peter took over the school after Christ had died. Peter took over, meaning what? Peter was in charge. So now, after he's saying right here, verily, verily, I say unto you, he that entered not by the door of the enter the shepherd, but climbeth up some other way is the same as a thief and a robber. He's talking about himself, right? Now when Christ died, who became that person? When Christ died, who became the door? Nope. Peter. Peter became the door that you had to go through. You wanted to be in the body of Christ, you had to go and be under who? Peter. You had to be under Peter, because that's the only way. You understand? When Peter seen the fake Israelite, damn man, someone give me that one too. When they said that those who are not against us are on our part. Someone get that one as well. You understand? Good night. Hold on, what we got? Good night. I'm gonna try to make this as quick as possible. Read what you got, Sadat.
Kind of the one kind. They went out from us.
They went out from us. The Isupk was started in 1969. Whatever Israelite group you thinking of, they started in 2008 at the earliest. Good night. You understand? I remember battling some Israelite group. I remember asking them, when did they start their group? They in Fayetteville too. I forget the name of them. They wear red, right? And I asked them, and they said that they started in 2019. And I said, are you kidding? This is for real. This is for real. They started in 2009. Like, what the hell didn't just make you go to IUIC?
Right.
Why didn't you just join GOCC? Or I'm sure there's other groups out there, some fake Israelite groups or something. What in your brain made you take, because you had to have learned it from somewhere. You're not going to convince me that you were a baby and grew up your whole life and just thought, oh, I know the breakdowns of John 3:16. You got it from somewhere, and you took that knowledge and said, we're going to wear red over here. We're going to go to camp. It disturbs my brain that you would even do something like that. You understand? That's like me walking to the NBA game, and I'm walking through the security gate, and I'm like, yeah, I'm the Durham Nighthawks. We the newest NBA team, and we about to start playing the Miami Heat tonight. What the hell is you talking about? They got NBA teams already set up, Ak. And if you want to be in the NBA, who do you have to go through? The NBA, Ak. There's no other way around it. There's only one way to get in there. You better do what they say do, otherwise you're going to be a fan. Just like every fake Israelite group is to the ISUPK.
That's right.
They're a fan and a spectator who can't get in. You understand? But read what you got. And now, ISUPK started 1969. All of these groups left the school. Tahar left the school and went where? He created GMS. I thought he went somewhere before he created GMS. House of David, right? And then created GMS. Why did Tahar leave? Tahar left because of a council that was had because he wanted to teach that we could sleep with white women, right? And of course, because the major council was found that he was wrong for teaching that, he left the school and then went to go create his own school. And now what does GMS teach? That you can rape women, right? That you could sleep with underage women, right? And that you can sleep with white women and specifically rape them. There's videos of GMS on YouTube right now where they say that you can take a woman and you can cut her a little bit. I laughed. It's like, God damn, how sick in your brain do you have to be to say you're going to cut a woman a little bit on her neck? You can cut her a little bit, bang her up a little bit, and then you can, they never want to say it. They always stutter. You can. Oh, really? But that's how that started. You understand? IUIC, same thing. AOC, same. GOC, anything. Tazadakia wanted to be what? He wanted to be rich. He wanted to be a producer or a millionaire or rap, whatever, a rap artist. He wanted his faces on the buses. That's what he wanted. And so he left ISUPK because he couldn't have it. Because he couldn't have his face on the bus. You understand? And so now, you understand, he did. Of course, Tazadaki is now dead. He got killed for COVID, I think, in 2019. But no sweat. If they were with us, keep going.
They went out from us.
They left from us. They left the school. Keep going.
But they were not of us.
They were never of us. They were never in the truth. Keep going.
For they, Salakia, if they had been of us.
If they had been of the truth. You understand? If they had been one West from the beginning, like they love to give reference to, keep going.
They would not doubt, Salakia, they would no doubt have continued with us.
They would have no doubt continued with us. Now, if you read the book of Revelations, it says that the earth opened up his mouth to swallow up the lies that the world, to help the earth from the lies that was proliferated throughout the earth, right? 1969 is where that happened, with the 7 heads and Abba Bibbins teaching the truth and opening up One West so that we can know that blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians are the true biblical Jews according to the Bible. And that's where it started. Now it's never ended. And so now, if your family knows that they're Israelites and they know about the Lashuan Quadash and they know about the feast and the high holy days and they know about these things, then why are they not here? Why are they not with the truth? If they know about the truth, it came from someone. They didn't create it. At some point, you had to know that Benjamin was the West Indians. You didn't know that. You know, I guarantee you right now, go to any fake Israelites and say, show me the 12 tribes in the Bible. Show me where Zebulun, show me how you know Zebulun is Zebulun in the Bible. I guarantee you, they don't have no clue. They'll watch class and they'll get the breakdown on how the Lord said that Zebulun's foot will be dipped in oil, and how you know that right now who has the greatest oil reserve on the face of the planet Earth? Zebulun does. Venezuela, because that's who they are. But of course, they probably getting it right now. I'm gonna write that down just in case somebody asks me. But they don't know that, which is why they should just be in here following you.
Right.
They should follow your example. Is there any more on that?
Come
on.
They no doubt, Salakia, they would no doubt have continued with us.
They would have continued with us because that's the way of the Most High. They would have still been here in One West. They would not have allowed discord and differences and alts to dismember the body. Why would they have not allowed those things to dismember the body? If someone can answer this, you will blow my mind. I will be utterly proud of you brothers if you can answer this question. Why would, if they were with us and they were here to truly serve the Lord in the one body of Christ in 1969, why would they have never left the school and created another school? Why would they have not let discord and alts and fights and disagreements to make them leave the school? You own it, but no, I want you to get it. Think about the scripture. Think about what we was teaching earlier today. Maisha, give me this exact phrase. You know it. You know it. Think about it like this. I'm your brother right now. Right? I claim to be your brother, right? Y'all look at me. I'm in the seat right now. Tabawan is in the seat right now. Outside Rock, they hold the seats. You look up to these men. You think that these are your brothers. But if they turn around and steal your money, are you gonna look to them as brothers anymore? No. Why? Why?
Salakia, sir, I would say it did not suffer as long.
You just said it, but I want you to say it the correct way. Because charity what?
Suffereth long.
Because charity suffereth long. Meaning they would have still been here saying that I've been there since 1969 and I'm still here, old and decrepit, can't walk, can't go to camp, in my hospital bed, but bury me as a priest, please. They would have still been here because true brotherhood suffereth long. And so if they are not here, that means they never had what? Brotherhood. They never had it. And the script, you pulled the scripture earlier today. How can you love the Lord without loving who? Your brother. So how could they ever be in the body of Christ if they don't love their brothers enough to not allow discord to separate them? What you got? Slack out of one.
It's like what you're saying is so heavy. Listen. All right, yo, check it out. The other thing on what you just said, which was very heavy, how can you experience a brother having an art with you if you an individual like at home eating lamb dinner by yourself? You see what I'm saying? How you putting this truth to the test by being an individual, like setting the tone? We are forced to be next to each other. You forced to be next to this brother next to you and having to deal with you. We're forced to be in this building with one another and having to deal with each other and going through the natural issues that humans go through. But with this system under Command Junior Han and the Isupk, we actually get to put it to the test. And as an individual, like just being home, celebrating the high holy days alone, you don't have that pressure. You understand? You come in the truth, you're going to get that pressure. You know what I mean? Shalom.
That damn, give him a hand. Damn right. You understand? Because of course the whole point, like a Israelite's mantra is to do what? To build a nation. Ain't they what they always say? We building a nation. How you building a nation alone? Who you building a nation with? Your mama? You're gonna build the whole nation, just you and your grandma, huh? Eating lamb for the Passover on a date that you decided. How you know what day the Passover is? I bet you look at the moon, huh? You done went the moon. How you know what date it is? Oh, you just picked one. You said GOCC holding theirs on this date, IUIC holding theirs on this date, this day. Y'all want to flip a coin on it? Let's just pick. And if you pick IUIC, then just go to their Passover. Right. Just go be with them. If you holding the Passover on the same day as AOC, then call AOC and go be with them. Show a slight sense of brotherhood and a slight sense of disgust, of selfishness. Otherwise, what are you doing? You understand? Now, of course, if you go with AOC, of course you're wrong because they are not even in the truth. You understand? But everyone should be at the Passover wherever Commander Jenny Yohana says it is. You understand? Because if Christ was on this earth today, that's where he would be. He would be exactly wherever Commander Jenny Yohana said, well, where Christ says it's like you. Go ahead.
It's like that's heavy what you're saying too, because what it really should let you know is that the only group that says the same thing that Christ said about being the door is the ISUPK.
The only group.
No other group tries to
Only
say
one.
like, oh, our Passover is the Passover.
Right.
Our, you know what I'm saying, Feast of Unleavened Bread, our Feast of Purim is the Feast of Purim. They'd be like, oh, no, come as you are. We can go to any group you want. That's just like the Christian church. If you go to Mount Zion Baptist Church on this corner, you know what I'm saying? They're not going to say, oh, yeah, you have to come to this church on this corner to, you know what I'm saying, to serve the Most High. They're going to say, no, just be a Christian. Just accept Lord and say, you know, he's your savior. Only the ISUPK says, no, this is the home of truth. Right. Home of the truth. This is, you know what I'm saying, where the spirit of Christ is. You know what I'm saying? Right. So it can't be nobody else because they will be saying the same thing. So
right. But they know they can't. Right. They know they can't say that this is the home, that they are the home of the truth because, of course, the ISUPK is. And, of course, like he said, who does that sound like? Your Christian pastor. When TDJ, when Eddie Long died, right? Y'all know who Eddie Long is. Right. He was found guilty of child molestation and a whole lot of all that stuff. But he died. And when he died, his congregation left and went to TD Jakes' church. And they tried to start following TD Jakes. What did TD Jakes tell them when he died? When they came inside his church?
Salakia. He sent them back.
He said, go back to Eddie Long. He said, don't leave him. You understand? Because a pimp don't mess with another pimp's hoes. Good. They don't. You don't touch another pimp's hoes. You send her back to her pimp. Whether she been beaten on, regardless of you have to understand how disgusting that is. They were molested. And he said, go back to that church. You understand? But that's like your fake Israelite group who says that you can go, we can have a unity. It's so gay. What the hell is a unity camp? I'm supposed to get on the mic and say what? Shalom, everybody. Just letting y'all know that fake Israelites don't have the truth. Here you go, brother. I just wanted to say that we all have the truth. No, they don't. What the hell is supposed to happen? Of course, I end up beating all the. So like, I ain't gonna say. Another story. But of course, it would never work, man. But that's what you get from being. Give me somebody was holding something for me. Finish that one, and then you got Matthew, right? And we're gonna end on that.
Kind out of one kind. It says, they would no doubt have continued with us, but they went out that they might be made manifest.
That they might be made manifest. What does it mean that they might be made manifest? What does it mean to be made manifest? Why do they go and read the book of Jasher? Why do they go and use the book of Enoch? Why do they read the Hebrew Bible? Why do they go to these other texts? Why do they use other things? What does it mean to be manifest? They want to be made great. They want to be seen by everyone else. Because, of course, in the Isupk, they had to do what? You had to vacuum the floor. You had to vacuum the floor and pick up the crumbs from the floor. You had to go and sweep up the cobwebs from the corner of the building. You had to give Sadaka a hand. God damn. You had to build all of this stuff by hand. You had to make all of these things by hand and damn near get no recognition for it. You had to do it nonetheless. But of course, a brother who was so much weaker than Sadak would say what? Well, I could take my talents and go build my own school. I don't have to build things for them. I could build my own school and be the general of the school that I built myself, which is why they want to be made manifest. They don't want to come in, which is why y'all seen the interview with Sarnetta, right? And he told Captain Cesar, he said, I'll come into school, but can I be a captain? Exactly. Because he wants to be manifest. He wants to be seen. You understand? I'll let y'all in on I don't even know if I should tell this story, but I ain't gonna give no names. I'll let you in on a brother who was a bona fide millionaire, bona fide money, Bentleys, Rolls Royces, 12 Lamborghinis, so on and so forth. And he had the idea to rent out, I ain't even gonna say the stadium because I might give it away, to rent out a professional NFL stadium for our Passover. He was gonna pay for the whole thing. Pay for it. But you know what he wanted? He wanted to sit at the table with the generals, even though he was barely a trooper. You know what the general said? Passover, number, this location that is not a stadium, that is somewhere else, because we're not accepting that. Kick rocks. That's the integrity of the UPK. Your money doesn't get you manifesting here, but of course he'll probably go start his own fake Israelite group. You can call it Money Israelites. Who knows? Come on, Salaka.
That they might be made manifest, that they were not all of us.
They were not all of us. They were not in the truth to begin with. Drop that. Go to when Peter seen a fake Israelite camp, and we're gonna end on this.
Book of Matthew, chapter 7, verse 13. It's Book of Matthew, chapter 7, verse 13. Enter ye in at the straight gate.
That's not the one I want. You can read that one, but someone find me when Peter seen it. Is that the same one?
No, lie, sir. You
holding both of them?
Why had you asked for the straight gate one, sir?
I asked for straight gate, Salakia, but I want the one where when Christ said, they that is not against us is on our part.
Oh,
you can read what you got right now, or someone else find it.
Book of Matthew, chapter 7, verse 13. Enter ye in at the straight gate.
You enter in at the straight gate. Keep going.
For wide is the gate, and broad is the way.
Broad is the gate. I mean, wide is the gate, and broad is the way. Let's sis, back to you, right? Let me ask you a question. You said that your family members, right, don't eat shrimp, crab, pork, and lobster. Who would they answer to if they did? What's the real answer? I get what you're saying, but what's the real answer? Who would they answer to? If they decide I'm gonna eat a little bit of shrimp on this date that this dude took me on, you know the answer. You know who you answer to if you do that? That sister sitting right beside you. You're going to have to answer to her. You're going to have to answer to the sister in front of you. You're going to have to answer to the people that is around you that is also keeping the law, because you're in here with us.
That's right.
If they're alone, then who do they answer to? No, but they'll get it right next week. They go eat some shrimp, crab, pork. They go smoke some weed with their friends. Oh, this is what they call it, an oopsie. They made it a little mistake. A little what? A cheat day. Yeah. They had a cheat day for the Lord. They gonna fast for 3 days afterwards, so it's all good for them. They have no one to answer to, so they can do whatever they want to do. You understand? Because their gate is wide. Their options are far. They're fast. So like, what was that? Fast? Oh, vast. So like, I thought you said fast. Their options are vast. They're broad. You understand? They can do whatever they want to do. They don't have to go to the Passover. No one's telling them, make sure you're at the Passover. They don't have to hold the Feast of Unleavened Bread. No one's telling them they have to do it because they're outside of the nation of Israel. Right. They're not inside of it. Would you say, Audubon? Good night. Oh, good night. That's the question. Who they pay their tithes to? Tithes is a law. You got to pay it to somebody. That's right. They get paid $100 from their check and they say 10%, Lord. Tithes in my pocket. Now I got $100 in my pocket. Paid my tithes. Who they pay their tithes to? You're gonna have to ask them that. You got to say, well, who you pay your tithes to? And if they pay their tithes with GOCC, they might as well just go to their Passover. Or Sakari. They might as well get up in that strip club with Sakari for the Passover. In the strip club. Good night. Read what you got.
For wide is the gate and broad is the way that leadeth to destruction.
Wide is the gate and broad is the way that lead to destruction. Says you got to be an example for your family so that they don't lead themselves into destruction.
That's
because
right.
Of course, again, they believe that all of this is a fairy tale, it's a mystic type of thing, or religious to them. But it is not religious. This is absolutely practical. And this is something that is going to save the lives of Blacks, Hispanics, and Native American Indians.
That's right.
You understand? Keep going.
Okay.
And you need brothers to save your life. You need sisters to save your life. You need sisters that you can call on. You need sisters when you're absolutely out your mind and you don't know what to do, and you can say, I need someone to talk to. But you can't call your friends in the world because what they're going to tell you? I got this blunt for you. I don't know what else you want, but I got this blunt.
Right.
You can come over here and smoke with me. But you need righteous women. You need righteous people around you that you can call on for comfort. Keep going.
Okay. And many there be which go in thereat.
And there's many fake Israelites and individualites. Who got the other scripture I want? Did anyone find it? Anybody? No sweat. I'll get it. You got it? Yeah, it's Mark.
Okay. This is the book of Mark, chapter 9, verse 38. And John answered him, saying, Master, we saw one casting out devils in thy name, and he followeth not us.
Now, what does this sound like? This sound like what? When you see them fake Israelites, right? You see them fake Israelites, and they're out there casting out devils. They're teaching our people to stop eating shrimp, crab, pork, and lobster. They're telling our people that we can't do this or we can't do that. They're casting out devils, right, in thy name, because they say they're doing it for who? For Christ. Them fake Israelites say they work for Christ, right? Keep going. But and he follows what?
And he followeth not us.
And he followeth not us. Now hold on now, because every group says that that the UPK hates their brothers because we say we're not affiliated with no other Israelite group. Right. What is Mark saying here? Read it one more time. He said what?
And he followeth not us.
He said they followeth not us. He's questioning what the hell they doing because they not with us. They didn't hop off the ship with us. Right. They didn't get told to let the dead bury the dead like we've been told. Right. They ain't have to. There was a brother in the Bible who was in a class that Paul was teaching who fell out the window of a 2nd-story building. He fell out the window, and the brothers came, and guess what he did? He went right back up to class. He went right back up to class. If you don't believe me, I'll pull it. He went right back up. This is very practical. He went right back up to class. Any fake Israelite grew with us. Come on now. Keep going.
And we forbade him because he followeth not us.
Because they followeth not us, meaning they spoke down on them because they don't follow you, because they not in the Isupk.
Right.
They not with the home of the truth that was established in 1969 on 125th Street, Harlem, New York. They not here, so we forbade them. Keep going.
Verse 39. But Yahushua said, forbid him not.
Don't speak evil against them. He said, don't do nothing against them. Don't do nothing. Don't go shut their camp down like we could.
Right.
Don't get it twisted. Every single Israelite group that you see, even the purple millionaire faggots, Salakia, even the purple rain millionaires that you see, every last single one of them could get shut down this Saturday if Commander General Yohana told each captain Isupk to shut their camp down.
Right.
It would get shut down. Every what I say something? Go. Come on, man.
It's funny you bringing it up because today, after I came to try to pick up the brother and I was heading back, I stopped to check my car out. And just so happened to look across the street. And what is today? Tuesday? It's Tuesday, middle of the day. And they are on the corner with their sexy nightgowns with the fringes on the bottom, bothering people
with
in the middle of the day. So like
with the velvet purple?
With the purple on. No, with the purple on, bothering people, and in my head, I'm like, I want to go over there and stop this bull. Right. I want to tell this woman to run.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And I called Thabawan. I'm like, Thabawan, dude, he like, man, listen, you know what I'm saying? Just hold your composure, basically. You know what I'm saying? But it's like, I wish we could just go stop, go shut them down because they ain't got it and they'll never get it. Salakia.
Damn right. You understand? And that's a perfect example of what Mark was going through in his own right. You understand? But just like Christ said to the disciples when the Romans had them, don't think that I can't kill all of them.
Damn
right now. Don't think that Commander General, don't think Captain Thought can't say, Sadak, grab two brothers and go out there and ruin every Israelite camp that you see. And they would have a nightmare on their hands because they couldn't stand to it. But the point is this, if they're not coming against us, meaning they're not stopping in front, because if they stop in front of our camp, good night. And we've seen the footage. If you haven't seen the footage, you can go look on. It's on YouTube. They stop in front of our camp. They better off than shooting themselves in the head.
Right.
You understand? And going and laying down somewhere. Go ahead. Hell no, I ain't talking about that video. I'm talking about every single time any purple faggot ever thought to step to a priest and prophet of the Lord in the ISUPK. Every single time. Not that video. I'm talking about tonight if they get the balls to do it, Salakia. But of course they never would.
All right.
No sweat. But they're not against us because why? The Christian church is against us. Our oppressor is murdering our people. You understand? The Chinese is pushing into our neighborhoods. The Middle Easterns are setting up tobacco stores in our neighborhoods and murdering our people. Those are our enemies. You understand? Keep going.
Okay. For there is no man which shall do a miracle in my name that can lightly speak evil of me.
Now, why is Christ saying this? Why is Christ saying this? Good.
Not every Israelite is Israel.
And I wouldn't say that, right? They're still Israelites. They're still our brothers, and we love them. We love them brothers that wear purple. We love them brothers who in GMS who think that they can molest and rape and all of that stuff. We love them, which is why this class is open for them. They could come in. Commander General Yohana has given the decree and the order for all Israelites to come home. Right. We love them. Otherwise, it wouldn't be a home for them to come to. Right. You leave it up to General Mahaiman. The stance might be different. We might hate them literally. You might say, yeah, you're right. We don't have brotherhood. We hate you niggas. Good night. But Commander General Yohana is merciful, right? But why is Christ saying this? For time's sake, I'm going to give it to you. Because when they do the things that they do, when these fake Israelites go and they do the things that they do in this world, they speak evil of Christ. Because they didn't learn from Christ. You understand? It's almost like a false claimer. It's like some dude who's claiming to be Crip, but you go and G-check him, and guess what? This nigga ain't neighborhood. He ain't gang. You not Far West. You not Nutty North. You not nothing. You a nap. You a fake gang member. Salakia, I'm getting into it. Salakia. But you ain't really none of this. You understand? Go ahead. Exactly. They robbers and thieves, man. And so they speak evil on Christ's name. Why? Because they didn't get checked by Christ. You know who got checked by Christ? Peter. When Christ said, "Get thee behind me, Satan." You understand? They didn't have to get called Satan by Christ, but yet they performing miracles in Christ's name. When in actuality, they're doing nothing. And this is how they're doing that. Go ahead. No, go ahead, Tabu. Right.
Oh yeah, we follow Christ.
Right.
You say you follow Christ and teach somebody that they can molest a child.
Right.
You making Christ look bad. You speaking evil of him.
Right.
Salakia.
Which is what we about to get to right now. Read. And this is it.
Verse 40.
Uh-huh.
For he that is not against us is on our part.
Now, he that is not against us is on our part. How is he on our part?
He's still telling the brothers and sisters they're Israelites and they're giving some sort of the teachings, but not the true teachings.
Hell no. Fake Israelite can't teach you a goddamn thing. I don't give a damn if a fake Israelite told me that Christ was black. I would have to call Commander Jenny Yohana and confirm that first. You understand? He can't teach me nothing.
Slacking, sir, because they still somehow lead brothers and sisters into the truth.
How do they lead them to us?
By what they teach, by the way they do things, why they act.
Because they have the Passover in their kitchen.
Come on.
And then one day you find out that, damn, how the hell did you even pick what date the Passover was? And then now you have to go to the truth.
Come on.
Well, because they go to Las Vegas and they sleep with transgenders and shoot transgenders in their face.
Good night.
Because you hear Joy Morgan and you thought it was a good idea to wear purple, and now Joy Morgan is dead from being in IUIC, and now you don't want to go to IUIC. Go ahead, what you got? They not one West, which is why they do the things that they do. Because they teach that you can rape and you can sleep with underage women and you can do all kinds of nonsense and you got to worship the dark side of the moon and pay 30% in tithes and all kinds of nonsense. Yeah. It gets like that. Good night. I think IUIC Passover fee is like $1,500 to $2,000.
Yeah, damn.
Just to go to the Passover. $1,500 to $2,000. You're gonna have to take out a pension to go to the damn Passover. You understand? But per person or per family, I don't know. I'm not in IUIC. I only hear what comes through the grapevine. But nonetheless, they are not with us, man. And Mark knew it and Christ knew it. You understand? And Christ battled them on what they were teaching. What you got? Come on.
Them making people pay for the Passover, isn't that like buying the truth?
Lie. The Passover is an event, right? And the Passover is an glorious event. So to say that they're wrong to make them pay for the Passover, they're not wrong, because of course the money got to come from somewhere.
Yeah,
you understand? We're not in the kingdom of heaven as of yet. In the kingdom of heaven, of course, we'll have all the riches because we'll have slaves and we'll have infrastructure and resources, and all people will own companies and businesses. And just like politicians pay for their runnings and their elections, right? They have supporters who can send $20 million. They got supporters who could do this. In the kingdom of heaven, we'll have the same. We'll have that NFL stadium in the kingdom of heaven. Good night. We'll have something more glorious than that. We'll have like 10 NFL stadiums in the kingdom of heaven, man. You understand? But right now, it's not wrong for them to ask brothers to give money for the Passover, but to ask for $1,500, god damn. It shows who's in your congregation. Who's in their congregation? People who can afford to pay $1,500. What you got? Con.
Some of them fake Israelite groups, like what I think you're talking about, their Passover is not in one place. they have different people presiding over Passovers in different zones.
Right.
So they have like a Houston one. So while the Passover's going on in New York, one is also happening in Houston, LA, Miami, So they probably putting up on the money if they got to, but it's so damn spread out.
Good night.
So when we do Passover, which is the real Passover, everybody has to converge on the city.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So of course it got to be paid for. You're never going to ask somebody to put up, $15,000, $1,500 for Passover. That's crazy.
Which is what Christ had to do. Christ converged on one area, you understand, for the Passover, and that's always been the tradition of Israelites, man. But you would never have that tradition by being in some fake Israelite group. You understand? And the home of the truth is Isupk, started 1 West 125th Street, Harlem, New York, 1969, and it is currently under the cruel tutelage and instruction and structure under Commander General Yohana. And anything other than that is a farce and a lie, man. You understand? And with that, I'm gonna pass the class over to Priest and Officer Thabawan Salaki. I know we way over the time, man.
Everybody take a shot. ISUPK security announcements. We are the ISUPK out of 1 West 125th Street, Harlem, New York, under Commander General Yohana. New rules for brothers and sisters. When a new brother or sister comes into the school, they are off limits for 6 months. They are to be saluted only. They're here to shed themselves of the world. After 6 months, if a brother or a sister has an interest in a particular person, he or she must get permission from the head to speak to a brother or a sister. There is another 6 months in which the brother or sister will court each other. After this 6-month period, the brother or sister will get permission from the head to marry. Tithe, this is the commandment. You can find this in Numbers 18 and 21, and Malachi chapter 3, verses 8 through 10. Means tenth in Hebrew and is pronounced ma'ashara. 10% of every penny of any increase the Lord gives you, you give to the treasury department or teacher. Priest fund, free will offering for priest, not mandatory. Whatsoever amount you would like to give. Upcoming Holy Convocation, of course, will be this Sunday, September 25th. It's the memorial blowing of the trumpets. If you're in the North Carolina area, it's going down at the Fayetteville School. I don't have the exact address at the moment, but stay tuned. We should get that to y'all real soon. At the end of the class, I'll find it for everybody here and give y'all the address. But yeah, that's where we'll be having it here. And again, that's September 25th. That's Sunday. Also remember, if you want to bring food or whatever, the menu is out. Get with Officer Mahayar about the food, about the menu. So you can, you know what I'm saying, have your dishes and everything, and make sure you get there on time as well if you are bringing food. 6 p.m. The latest. If you're bringing a dish to the feast of Memorial Blowing of Trumpets, Slakia. Want to remind Akim and Akwathan to check on social media. Set is isupk.com, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, and so on for ISUPK events and materials. If a brother wants to be a trooper in the school, they need to start wearing all black, which includes black boots, shirts, pants, headband, or scarf. And with that, imagine, which means to stand.